Hello everyone, this is your host Professor Reha here with the Beginner's Guide to Supporting in SMITE. First off, don't panic, I am not actually solo. PetterMG321 actually did swap with me, and the game showed it for a second and then swapped us back, but he did accept, so he is actually the solo lane. Second off, I was originally planning on doing this particular part of the Beginner's Guide to Support with Ganesh, but then I realized after some thinking that Kabrakan would probably be a bit better in case those of you at home are looking to try out some of the Guardians that I'm using here. Now, the reason why Kabrakan is a little bit better for newer players than Ganesh in some ways is his passive gives him a 5% damage mitigation that also he spreads to nearby allies within a certain distance. Furthermore, his initiation, which is the primary focus of this particular part, initiation and counter-initiation, his is a little slower, so unlike Ganesh, or a few other supports who use a dash to initiate, which you can't cancel and just puts you right out there, and they also double as your escape a lot of the time. If the situation changes very suddenly, then that dash is gone, and you're doomed. Kabrakan doesn't have that issue because his initiation is slower. So on the plus side, should the situation change, you can just turn around and run the other way, because your initiation is just a movement speed boost. The downside of this is that the enemy has to have a little bit more distance under normal circumstances for there to be a really good initiation. And initiation is really just who's starting the fight, who's really landing the first blow, right? In the early game, the support isn't actually the primary initiator of fights. The jungler is, in the early game at the very least. In the mid-game, when team fights just begin happening, the support in the solo lane will kind of initiate whatever fights they can, in theory, with the jungler also initiating on occasion, but the jungler starts to be less interested in initiation at that point, in the mid-game phase. And then finally, towards the end game, the support is the primary initiator, with the solo kind of being a backup initiator in case the support is out of position or is not in any kind of condition to initiate. For example, the support just tanked the Gold Fury, for instance, and maybe isn't in as good of a condition as the solo lane. Also, I want to point out a small exception to the usual rule of don't kill anything. Kabrakan wants to kill these first two side minions here, the two side minions that'll spawn here, because you want Refraction Shield as quickly as possible. The problem with Tremors is that you are stationary while using it, so you are very vulnerable in the early game to getting killed. Refraction Shield, which gives you 2 protections per stack, and each of these stacks are the shards of that purple circle. Those give you extra protections, which can really help you survive the early game with Tremors, so you really want to try to rush your way to Refraction Shield as quickly as possible, and one of the best ways to do that is actually taking out these side minions. So we're just going to go right on ahead and take out these side minions, and then once they die, we stop so that way we can conserve some mana, and we start using regular auto attacks so that way Hachiman can come over and get some experience. I just wanted to point out that very specific context to Kabrakan. And then what we're going to do... Sylvanas, huh? Just going to go right on in on this. Alright, we're taking some damage here. We've done our... Okay, we won the lane clear. Actually, we tied the lane clear. We're not really going to want to initiate. We took a lot of damage for the Tremors, so we're going to just try to support our minions here. Again, keep in mind that little orb underneath them means that, in fact, they are taking less damage. Sylvanas is going to go pretty aggressively on me. He's going to try to initiate. Here he goes. However, he did make a small mistake, and that was that Zami was just not interested. Nope, I didn't make it. So close, so close. Izanami's always a tough time. She's got very strong early game because she hits you multiple times with her auto attacks. Twice, specifically. The initial hit is 75% of her normal damage, and the second hit is 25% if I'm remembering correctly. It's not a huge downfall, but we are going to want to be very careful. Until we get to level 3, we're probably going to have a really hard time with this, overall. Where are they at? I wish Dajit came over for a gank, but who is their mid? Is Hou Yi their mid? Yes, he is. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, there's Sylvanas. We just want to hit level 3. Good poke.
They sacrificed their whole self for us. An enemy has been slain.
Okay, good. Good play. Did he just... He does. Okay. Interesting. He has Sundering Spear for some reason. Very interesting. I'll need to keep that in mind. It's a very interesting choice for Sylvanas. Okay. I'll probably die for this, but... Nope. We both survived. Nice. She's going pretty deep for this, though. Okay, finally we have our initiation. We really need a gank from Taji. She's spending too much time in mid lane. This is a good opportunity for her to actually pick up some kills over here if she was paying attention. They're way far up. Ah, well. Nothing we can do about it, but try to farm safely. Farm as safe as we can. Come on, Daji. We really need a good gank over here. She's busy almost dying in mid. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Sylvanas thought about initiating there. Why didn't he? Because I had all my stuff up?
One less opponent that can stop us.
Alright. At least they're winning in the mid lane there. They're going for our Void Camp, and we can't really stop them, because unfortunately we just don't have the health to do so. Yeah, this is going to get very ugly. Izanami is extremely tough to deal with, not necessarily because of her kit, but just the ability of her shots to actually hit the entire minion wave is incredibly potent, and really allows her to clear waves incredibly fast. We're actually going to take this opportunity to clear pretty quick here. Okay. That's really what the problem here is. So they have a huge wave clear advantage. Can I go back and grab it? Not quite. Well, I could. Oh, no, why are you here? I'm going to die for him. No, I'm not. I'm going to die for nothing. Okay. And there's no calls. Okay. At least I survived long enough to get sovereignty. But holy cow, this is not going particularly well. To be fair, though, Daji should have ganked left lane far earlier. And I'm not sure why she didn't. She'll get Sylvanas, which is fine, but... No, she's not even going to get Sylvanas. There's still everyone over here. What? Why are you chasing that? That is a bad idea. You don't have... Okay, there's your beads. Don't... Taji, seriously? You know what? I'll just go ahead and tank the Scorpion. That's fine. There we go. I don't care. If I need to tank the Scorpion to get you killed, I'll do it. I initiated on the Izanami to give Hachiman a chance to catch up and experience in gold, which worked, by the way. She's level 5 now, and he's level 6. So that worked marvelously. But I was not expecting Tashi to go in on that. That was not part of my plan. I was concentrating too much to actually talk about my motives there. But yeah, that was why I initiated that fight. I initiated on the Izanami in that particular context because I really wanted her to take enough damage to not want to go back to left lane so Hachiman could get ahead. And you'll notice that he was level 6 first, so that actually did work. That's great. Poseidon came in. I was expecting that. I could have walked out of that without much problem because I could just use my what is this ability called again? Seismic Crush, and I can just walk a little bit faster out of that. So Poseidon has a really hard time locking down my boy here. At least a little bit harder time than a lot of other characters in the game. So that wasn't going to be quite the big deal. Why there? She's insane. Okay. Enemy is not missing left. Daji really should be ganking left. Don't do it. Don't initiate. Do not initiate on that. Oh my goodness, you're insane. I'm going to counter-initiate my boy here. Why are we... Yeah, this is a terrible idea. What are we doing? Leave it alone. This is the most bloodthirsty Daji I've ever seen in my life. That's saying a lot. Dajis are generally bloodthirsty. But, my goodness. Use your jump. There it is. It jumped over. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so far we're in not a bad position. Okay, now she's in trouble. She's gonna die. She's dead. I didn't need to take that damage. Yeah. Sylvanas, it's... Oh, okay, he's building, mannequins. Oh, he's gonna regret that late game, because he's not gonna be tanky enough in the late game. Alright, I can take advantage of this later on. He's also stealing kills from his own allies, which is not the support way. What is my next move? Pestilence. They have Sylvanas for self-heal. I kind of figure Izanami will probably be self-healing. Rom. I didn't realize they had a Rom solo lane. At least not immediately. No. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to want wards. Alright, so far, the Hachiman plan worked. Okay, good. That'll be decided by that fight, although he seems to be winning it, which is good. I'm going to help Chang'e with her damage buff here. I don't think Hachiman's way too far up there. He did it, though. Nice job. See, this is sometimes why a random-looking fight in the jungle sometimes matters. Just me initiating on that Izanami and forcing her back to the fountain that way was all he needed. It takes a lot of trust to play support. I had to rely on the hope that if I were to get Izanami to go back, which she did, that Hachiman would be able to farm himself up to the point where he could contest her later on, which happened. Izanami wasted no time farming. Whether he realized what I was doing or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is, he farmed when I needed him to. I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight. I know for a fact Hou Yi is around here, and that's a 2v3 that I don't want. And as Hachiman just pointed out, Izanami could be over here too. We don't know. It's just not something I want to take the risk with. I'm going to go check on Hachiman really quick. He's starting to... Excuse me? Oh, there you are. Okay, that's a little weird, but okay. I just healed it right back up with my HP 5, so that's fine. No, Chang'e's going to be in trouble soon. Does he have Blink? Oh, that's right, he has the Sundering Spear. We should upgrade it immediately, interestingly enough. I think we've got a good initiation opportunity. Oh, they got Sylvanas. I did not realize this. You back off. Get out of here, Hou Yi. You don't belong here. Get out. Alright. They didn't actually even need me in mid lane, which is nice. I'm going to go back to left because I'm not really sure what Hou Yi is doing. Actually, I have no idea what the Hou Yi or the Poseidon are doing. Yeah, I just want to know where... Oh, wait. She's probably... No, she's not. Okay. Where'd she go? Let's put this here. Ah. Counter initiation. Never mind. Just dead. I'm gonna die for nothing? Oh, never mind. He just kind of saved my life with that. I'll die for Hachiman. No, I don't even need to die for Hachiman. Hachiman's out. Nope. Blink, thank you. Holy cow.
One less opponent that can stop us.
Nope. Nope. Oh.
We can repair you.
Oh, so close. If I just used tremors, he probably would have died from that, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's been how long going after me? Sylvanas is using an awful lot of resources to kill me. But that's fine. Hachiman's still higher up than Izanami is, which is all that matters to me right now. Alright, so does anyone know where anyone else is on the enemy team? There's Izanami. They're diving for her for some reason.
An enemy has
Okay.
been slain.
See, at this point, I'm 0-4 and not worth... I was not worth that dive that they had. And that dive was the reason why Izanami was died there. I think I can gank this. The Sylvanas is just going to walk right in, honestly.
Exceptional.
Did he just pull me through my own wall? What a bold move. Nice job. That was a good ult. We just... Yeah, we probably shouldn't go after their full tower, though. It doesn't seem like a smart move. Oh, he is split pushing. Okay. In the solo lane, though, for some reason. Now he's going to die because he's way too far up. Yeah.
Exceptional.
I don't know why he was up there. I mean, at this point, Hachiman is way farther ahead than Izanami is. I just want to know where Poseidon is. And I want to... Actually, I don't know. I want to know where a lot of people are right now. Hold on. We have no information. Which is concerning. Okay. There's Sylvanas. I don't like this fight. There's Poseidon right there. It's an unnecessary risk that we don't need to be taking right now. So we will choose not to initiate that. Because I still don't know where Ram is. And that's concerning. There's Ram. Okay. So what happened to Hou-Yi then? Yeah. Oh, this is not great. Get Ram, get Ram. He's alone. This is a good fight. Take that Ram. No, we can get him. No, we can't. That's a shame. So close. I don't like this fight. Oh, I like that, though. Oop. Nah, we'll not do that. Ooh, I'm taking a lot of damage. I gotta get out of here. Slapping pretty hard. I'm gonna let Cook Lane start that fight. Okay, Daji is going a little hard here. Okay. I just really need my team to kill off minions. That's all I'm really hoping for right now. Nope. He hits like a wet noodle. Why is she...
If only they accepted
Why?
us, we could have saved them.
That was not a great move.
Double kill.
Nope. Nope. She shouldn't have dove that. I don't know why she did. I was really hoping that Chang'e would have her ult, but she does not have her ult. I just want to make sure Chang'e gets out. That's all I'm really looking at now. Put that down. Okay. Yeah, I know they're there. Yes, okay. At the very least, I was able to take Sylvanas with me. They still got the Gold Fury, unfortunately. I was hoping my walls would block them from that, but they were able to shoot through it fast enough that that didn't matter. It was worth a shot, though. I knew I was going to die for it. As long as I took Sylvanas at the very least, that was going to be enough for me. Are they actually building crits? Well, he's definitely building... Oh, they're both building healing. There's lots of healing going on here. I'm glad I picked up Pestilence. We'll go for this for now. I'm not necessarily going to go into Spectral Armor because I'm not 100% confident that they're going to go into crits. That's something we'll know pretty shortly, I think. Yeah, they're probably overstaying. They're welcome there. So Daji took Izanami with her. So it was a fairly even trade, but they got Gold Fury, so... It was kind of a... Well, we lost a bit on that one, but it could have been worse. After all, Sylvanas is worth more than me. Alright. We don't need to be fighting anymore over here, so we're just going to bail on that. We're going to help with the oracles, I think. So I can get some experience in gold here. There we go. Keep an eye on Chang'e. No, we don't want to initiate on this because there's Braum there, and Rom has crits. It might be crits later. We'll probably build Spectral just in case. At the very least, Rom is building crits. It's a really good chance that the other two will build crits as well. Yeah, but how many? Oh, hello. Good initiation. Oh. I thought he was going to beat that, to be honest. Okay. Can we grab you really quick? No? Alright. Go ahead and distract. She walked right into that. I'm gonna body block this as best as I can. Oh, hello. Ah. Clan, please kill Sylvanas. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I needed. We lost, what, 1 or 2? I think just 1. So overall, we won that fight. We don't. No, 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 no. Oh, wait, he has no mana. He's got a little bit of mana. I think he just used the last of his mana. We're still too far up, though. Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have been there. I initiated in the wrong time. I didn't know where she was. That was bad initiation. Should not have been there at all. I wonder if they will build crits later. Well, I'll bank on it for now. I could always change it later. I currently want Genji's Guard for the cooldowns. That's my current plan. Okay. Whew. Okay. They should be able to get that. It doesn't look like the enemy team is paying any attention. Good. Actually, get a bit more magic protections going on here. Poseidon slaps. Okay. Sylvanas is way out of position. That's his initiation. We need to counter-initiate. Kukulane took too long. Daji was too late to the party. I wasn't there, so we didn't have our support. Where'd she go? Oh well. There she is. Holy cow. They picked a good fight there. Daji, you need to get out of there. That's fine. Daji made it out, so that's alright. She went back in. Okay. What are you doing? I've got the foggiest idea right now of what exactly we're doing. That was the weirdest dance I've ever had in a game of Smite ever. I'm just gonna... I just need to not die. There we go. I'm out of here. I need to get Genji's guard for Pete's sakes. Alright. I'll probably finish with Mail of Renewal so I can heal myself even while getting attacked with Tremors going. Why didn't Ram just back regularly? Or was that what he was doing when Chang'e interrupted him? Also, good job on the Hachiman for soloing that. She's not building any crits at all. I'm hoping Hou Yi does, because that'll make special armor more effective for me. Alright, I don't want to be up here too far because I don't have backup here. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and wipe these out just for the golden experience here. There we go. I don't know why she bothered with that. That was a complete waste of everyone's time. Hachiman probably wins that fight. No, he does not. I'm going to help out Chang'e here. We good here? We're fine. Let's play a game of Ring Around the Rosie, huh? Okay. We're surrounded, and this is not a good fight. Oh, you're going in on these two. Okay. Oh, this is clean. And you're dead. Ram is worth more than I am, so that's fine. I just gotta try to get out of here alive. Is he gonna make it out alive? Yeah, he should. Chang'e needs to ult. Chang'e needs to ult.
An ally has been slain.
She waited too long to ult. Yeah, that's fine. So close, but that's okay. Sylvanas is worth more than I am. So that works out okay. Now we're going to go for Mail of Renewal. I knew as soon as Sylvanas went that little gap there, ult, cut him off. Fantastic time to start a fight. Whether or not you consider that a continuation of the fight, or if that was a fresh fight that, or a rekindling of the fight, I'm not sure. It really depends on your personal interpretation. But it was a good moment. It was a good moment. Very nice sacrifice. And let me see here. Somebody needs to clear out that wave on the right-hand side. That's going to get very ugly. Please, somebody. Cook Lane's got it. Okay, thank you. There we go. Looks like they're prepping for the Fire Giant. I should probably actually go back and buy a Sentry Ward. Oops. Keep forgetting I forgot to put consumables down there. Alright. Does he? It's late game. Please don't initiate. Now she picked a good fight, though. I'll give her that. She wants to caught Ram out by himself. Is she building defense? Yeah, a little bit. Makes sense, makes sense. I assume he wanted to heal off of this. We can... Yeah, I was going to say we could fake the fire giant and see if we could lure them into a trap that way, but... Oh, you're going hard on this, huh? That's your mistake. Counter initiation. We can kill him. Nope. Haha. Just go for the fire giant. Just go for the fire giant. What? Why? It was a great opportunity for the fire giant. Don't understand. I'll just take this then, I guess. Look how little damage it does. Look how little damage I do. No, I'm fine. For now, at least. Behold. The hideously glorious power of 5% less damage. Yeah, we're really not gonna... Actually, if he goes for that arrow, that's a gank. Okay, good. We need to attack the fire giant. Although they're all back alive. I really am not supremely fond of this. I think we waited too long. Okay, that was a bit close. Counter initiation, counter initiation. I'm fine. They picked out Poseidon out of that. I'm not sure. Well, the enemy team was mostly distracted with me, so Poseidon just got cut off. Mostly because the Poseidon clearly chose the wrong way to run. Oh, we can slap this Izanami. She's out of place. That's an easy fight. Yeah, they got her. Nope. We can get this. No, we got this. We got this. We got this. Look at this. I don't care about Sylvanas right now. Don't worry about it. We're okay. Okay, yep. They initiated on Hou-Yi. That's good, because he was clearly by himself. Okay, here's Sylvanas. It's just the two of them, though. Good. Yep, there we go. Alright. Yeah, we can easily take this tower. He's gonna waltz right in. I got Chang'e here to heal me. No problem. Alright. We got this. We got this. Ah, shoot. Okay. Oh, we already took it. That was fast work. No, we need to retreat. We don't have enough towers down. Chang'e needs to get out. Chang'e? Chang'e, please. There we go. This is also why it's really nice to have a solo. I could tank the Phoenix for Chang'e while Kukling could tank the tower. Yeah, we're going in on this. Okay. I was kind of concerned. I wasn't sure if I'd read the situation right. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, no, we can still take this. We still have time to take this. We scared him off a little bit. That's fine. No, she just grabbed Sylvanas for some silly reason. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure we were all going to get out and they weren't chasing us, but they're not pursuing us, so we're fine. I was going to throw down my ult if I needed to. I didn't have it quite then, but I was going to have it soon enough where it would make a difference. So. Good, 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 good. Okay, I'm going back so I can finish my Mail of Renewal. I'm going to need that to keep myself alive. There were a couple of touch-and-go moments in that last fight that we don't want. Okay, now we have that. And now I want this for extra protections for my allies. I did not want to switch that. We have Blink. We have Magic Shell. Okay, we're in really good shape. We're in extremely good shape right here. Now, this is what I was talking about when I said that Sylvanas was going to have a hard time in the late game. You can see he's rapidly exceeding my kills. My deaths. Yes, he has more kills than me, but he's a support. He doesn't need kills. He doesn't want kills, and he shouldn't be having kills. And he's, yes, got a lot of defense now, but he didn't originally, especially with the Mannequin Scepter. Although there are people who will say Mannequin Scepter is perfectly fine for supports, I disagree, and this is really why. That's not going to transform into anything he can use in the late game. Okay, good. Oh, he slipped around me, little turd. Where is... There's Poseidon. No, we're okay. We're okay. Oh, if we can kill her. Oh, there she goes. She went on the other side. We can take these. So close. Nice. Okay. I don't want to dive that. I don't want to dive that. Yeah, we need to leave that one alone. Can we take the, oh, never mind. Take it. Yeah, we'll go for this one, I guess. Actually, yeah, okay. Nice. Okay. The other two are coming over. My only problem right now is that we don't have a ton of vision on this area. Daji's scouting it out, or she's going to plant wards. Yep, she planted wards. That's fine. Good. Alright. Oh, wait. That's not Sylvanas. There we go. Alright. Take this tower. Take the Phoenix. We're golden. The fire minions will eventually wear down the Phoenix on the left, so I'm not worried about that. Alright, good. Good initiation, good initiation. Oh, man. Okay, good. I'm stuck on minions? Okay. Too many minions. Good shot. Alright. Oh, he did not go in the direction I was expecting him to go in. He dies, yeah. Very nice, very nice. As you can see, sometimes the solo initiates, sometimes the support does. As long as both are there, it doesn't matter. But that's why there's a solo. So, I was able to talk a decent bit about initiation there. I'll be doing 2 other separate episodes, specifically talking about more specific initiation. I also want to talk about, well, more specifically about aggressive initiation and counter initiation. But overall, that went quite well in terms of showing some initiation with Cabrakan, with Cuchulainn, with a really honest conversation about really clear examples of good and bad initiation from all 3 sides. I had a couple of bad initiations, so did Cuchulainn, so did Daji, but we all also had good initiations. I'm not really going to talk about items too much here because, again, this was mostly about initiation from the support standpoint. Cuchulainn, you know, when he blinked, notice that Daji, Cuchulainn, and myself all had blink. You will also remember that these are the 3 primary roles that initiate. Again, Daji was a little aggressive with the initiation and the attacking in the late game. She did pick out one really great late game fight at the end there, after our between our fire giants, where she caught out, I think, Ram. That was a really good pickup. The problem with that is that it was very high risk because she didn't have any information on where the rest of the enemy team was. So that was a risk. Yes, it paid off that time, but if more enemies had been there, like 2 or 3, if there had been like just even 2 enemies in the jungle hiding nearby, she probably would have died. So she did take a risk there, and that's really the only reason why junglers don't usually initiate fights in the late game. That's the primary reason why, is because if they make a mistake, or if they initiate without having all of the information there, which is a lot of the time, I'm not necessarily going to criticize Daji for not having a lot of information there, because quite frankly, in some late game initiations, you're not going to have that, which is fine. It's perfectly normal. But should the jungler make a mistake and initiate a fight that we don't want because there's more enemies nearby than the jungler originally thought, then the jungler isn't going to have the amount of leeway that the support of the solo lane is going to have to get back out of that fight. Junglers don't usually survive counter initiation. They really don't. So that was a risk. It paid off, yes. But it was a risk that she took, and it paid off. But if you are a jungler and you're watching this, that's really why... If you've always wondered why sometimes people get upset when you initiate fights when they're perfectly fine with it in the early game, that's usually why. It's a risk, and you have to either really calculate the risk or just really rely on your luck. So just keep that in mind, that even as a support, even though it becomes your main job in the late game, you're not the only one who is capable of initiating. Cuchulainn initiated a lot of great fights there. Especially that one where he blinked under the right-hand Phoenix. That was a great initiation because he was able to catch out Poseidon a little bit separate from his team. Poseidon had taken a hard left where the rest of his team was behind the Phoenix, so Poseidon was separated. Cuchulainn ulted in, popped him up with a great ult that gave me the time to catch up and afflict him with a slap. So if you're the support and your solo goes in, you need to be there for them. And the same thing with your solo should be there for you if you go in. You really should be working in tandem with the solo in the late game to protect your teammates and initiate fights. So it does become sort of a shared role, but for the support, it's a little bit more important to keep the teammates alive, and for the solo, it's a little bit more important to body at least some of the damage, depending on the context. But if push comes to shove, it is your job as the support to fall back and protect your allies, okay? That is always going to be your number one priority. Even if you initiate a great fight, if your allies, for some reason, aren't picking up on that, or somehow start losing the fight, or more commonly, the enemy jungler shows up out of nowhere and starts harassing your backline, you fall back, you save the lives of your allies. Okay? I didn't do that quite as much as I should have in this match because I did want to talk a little bit more about initiation. I was somewhat focused in on the very specific subject of initiation and counter-initiation. So that is something I will be talking about again in a future part of this. I intend on making this a 5-part series. But that is really going to be the main difference in the late game between your role as the support and the solo's role. Your end goal is always, always, always keep your allies alive. Initiation, yes, that is one of your jobs. It is one of your big jobs. But your end goal is keep your allies alive. The solo does not have that obligation. Obviously, if they are in a position to save an ally, they should, but that's not their primary goal. Their primary goal is to be huge, basically. That's why the solo lane was called solo lane. But I'll get more into that when I'm talking about the beginner's guide to the solo lane. So, really, just keep that in mind. Goal 1, protect your allies. Goal 2, start great fights. Goal 3, counter-initiate the enemy in those situations that they initiate. Sylvanas was a strange case for Cabrakan specifically, because Sylvanas' initiation almost emulates counter-initiation, because he pulls you in. And while that is technically initiation, because it's basically a reverse dash, it's still very odd to counter-initiate for most supports, and there's really not a whole lot of great responses. Although, it does give a creative opportunity, if you are able to survive, of luring the enemy into a trap, because once Sylvanas pulls you, then your next priority, if your allies aren't right there, which usually they aren't going to be because you've just been pulled by Sylvanas, your next priority is to get out of there alive, and the enemy is very likely to chase you, especially if they see a successful Sylvanas pull, because the interesting thing I've noticed about Sylvanas pulls is even if Sylvanas no longer is chasing the person they just pulled, Sylvanas' allies typically will, because I'm not sure, they'll just believe that Sylvanas had a specific reason, or wasn't trying to get some, chip damage in there or something. There's all kinds of reasons one would want to initiate a pull with Sylvanas. Because Sylvanas can choose to leave the initiation alone after pulling you. Really. I mean, if Sylvanas roots you, then he's serious about trying to kill you there. If not, then the Sylvanas might have been trying to pull you to see what the response would be, because the interesting thing about Sylvanas' initiation is when he pulls the enemy support, which he did to me a couple of times, if I turned around and attacked Sylvanas, then Sylvanas would know, hey, the enemy support's allies are nearby, which is why they're now turning around and trying to continue the attack. So that means I need to be more aware. If I, as a support, try to run, this means for the Sylvanas, this signals to the Sylvanas, who as a support will probably figure this out, oh, the enemy support is running, their allies aren't nearby. Of course, again, I could be trying to lure them into a trap, which is something that the enemy support would obviously have to think about, but that's kind of an interesting contrast between Sylvanas' initiation and Kubraken's. And there were plenty of times in that match where you could see me start an initiation and then think better of it and turn around and just leave. And that's one of the great things about Kubraken's initiation. Yes, it is a little slower. Yes, it is a little bit harder to initiate with that. You do rely very heavily on Blink to squeak out some slightly more effective initiations. And obviously you could see sometimes it still doesn't work. And that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I was able to mostly protect my allies. You will notice, overall, our score is very good. The Hachiman was able to pull ahead, because I was able to scare Izanami back to the fountain. And then Daji followed me in and died to Poseidon. And to be honest, that is partially my fault, because I did not indicate to Daji that I wasn't serious about the fight. I gave her no indication of that, so that is at least half my fault. But, I was mostly able to be present on the scene when my allies needed me. I was able to initiate some great fights. I initiated a couple of bad ones. Fair enough. But overall, it went very well. So I do hope this video clarified at least somewhat initiation. You really can't get more specific than this, because it does kind of become an instinct that you develop, partially. I'm not going to say it's entirely instinct, but as you become familiar with the guardian or support of your choice, you start to understand how far away an enemy has to be for that particular character in order for you to blink in, lock them down, and have your allies come in. It takes a matter of practice with that particular character, and then at that point then figuring out, okay, so this enemy does this, so that means that I'll need them to be a little bit farther away, etc. For instance. So, I mean, consider the Cuchulain's initiation under the right-hand Phoenix at the very end there on the Poseidon. Cuchulain knew exactly how large the radius of his ult was, and by blinking where he did, he knew he would just catch the Poseidon, and I knew that my speed boost is going to last a little bit longer than Poseidon's, and that Poseidon would naturally want to turn around at some point, because he would want to aim a whirlpool at us. That's just what Poseidons do. Ideally, the Poseidon, in a perfect world, the Poseidon would have kept on moving forward and put the whirlpool down, but this Poseidon, throughout the match, had consistently been turning around and aiming the whirlpool, in a lot of situations. The instant he did, boom, I was able to hit him with the walls. Right? He dies. But that took, and you'll also notice if you go back and watch that moment where I hit the Poseidon with my ult, He was just barely in the range. Actually, I think his corpse moved outside of the walls. That's how barely he was in range that was. And that's just a matter of me knowing Cabrakan really well. That's pure practice. That's all that is. I know exactly where the area of that is. Well, I won't say exactly, but I'm extremely aware of my area of effect on that particular ability and all of Cabrakan's abilities. You'll notice I was also hitting the Fire Giant with the fringe of Tremor. I was pulling in the purple buff using, again, the edge of Tremor. It's a certain amount of your initiation is going to come down to you knowing your character really well, knowing how long you're going to stun them, knowing how long you're going to do this other crowd control for, knowing what your escape plan is going to be if it goes south. Initiation takes some practice. I would recommend, if you want to see other forms of great initiation, I would actually recommend watching some of the pro games, and then just watch the supports, and possibly the solo lanes, maybe even the jungles if you just want to understand initiation in general. Watch those three. Ignore the ADCs, ignore the mids. They're not supposed to initiate. If your ADC and your mage are starting fights, in my experience, usually you lose that fight, because these two, the ADC and the mid, are the two that do the most damage on your team, or they're supposed to be. So if they die, your team has just lost, at minimum, a third of its damage output, if not more. And that's crippling in a team fight. And that's why the ADC and the mid never pick fights. The jungler shouldn't be, because it's high risk. They still can, and some do. Daji does. It paid off most of the time. Sometimes it did not. And, you know, if you lose the assassin, then you can still win a team fight, because the assassin is just supposed to wipe out the backline. And if your hunter and or your mage are good enough, and you're doing a good enough job of protecting them, then that's fine. But if either one of them dies before the fight even starts, that's just not going to work. But yeah, if you really want to see a lot more great initiation, the point of this was to just give you an introduction to initiation. If you want to see some top-level initiation, watch the pros, watch the solo lane and the support specifically, and the jungler in the early game. Watch some great initiation from there, because the benefit of that specifically in terms of initiation is that the commentators will often talk about the context of the initiation, which is really nice. But again, that's only really if you want to understand initiation at a higher level. Don't necessarily try to emulate the pros. They've practiced with these strats, they've practiced with their strats and their chosen characters in that role for days and days and days and days and days. No casual player is going to just pick up their controller or sit down in their chair and they're not going to be able to do the exact same thing, because they haven't been practicing with that character in that role for days and days and days. So, you know, just watch the initiation, just understand initiation through that if you really want to see top-level initiation, top-level counter-initiation. That's actually how I taught myself initiation way back when I was much newer at the game, when I discovered they had a pro scene. And I watched the pro games specifically because I wanted to understand initiation. And that's where I went. I went to the pro games to better understand initiation. And then I watched some of the pros' videos on YouTube to better understand initiation. So I would, if you really want to understand initiation right now, watch pro games. You don't have to watch a ton of them. You don't even have to watch them necessarily in cohesive order or whatever. But watch some. Listen to what the commentators are saying about the start of the fights, about the enemy response to an initiation, the counter-initiation. Listen to them. They won't necessarily say counter-initiation. I use that in the same way they use response or counter. I am old-fashioned. The whiskey-drinking type of man. Anyways, but yeah, that's That's what I would recommend. This is just to serve as a beginner's introduction to initiation, how it works, how counter initiation works, and what you really should be thinking about and looking for when trying to initiate and when trying to counter initiate. But that's all for now. So thank you all very much for joining me. If you like this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, or requests, please leave them down in the comment section below. And have a great 24 hours.